last night for this retreat. And so tonight also will be the last Dhamma talk. So it will be a simple one. And it will be a kind of summary for what has been said. For this purpose, I will bring out two suttas, not long suttas, short suttas. One is analysis of the Satipatthana. The other is the Siddhi Bhava, becoming cool. Since we are doing the Satipatthana, we start with the first one. Analysis of what? Of the Satipatthana, of course. It analyzes in three ways. First, we talk about the four foundations of mindfulness, Satipatthana. And then the cultivation of the Satipatthana Bhavana. And the practice leading to the cultivation of the four foundations of mindfulness. Oh, three things, all about practice. Very simple. You know what the Satipatthana is? Yeah. What is the Satipatthana? Four foundations of mindfulness. First is the body foundation of mindfulness. Second is the feeling foundation of mindfulness. Third is the consciousness foundation of mindfulness. So they use the word mind. And last, Dhamma, foundation of mindfulness. No, that is just the name. Right? So you have to go into the second part where he explains about the foundations of mindfulness. Cattaro Satipatthana Katame Cattaro Idda Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Kaya Nupasi Viharati Atta Pisampajano Satima Vinaya Loke Abhijado Manasam. This is the Pali. There's one other four foundation of mindfulness. First, this is the monk, the bhikkhu, dwells contemplating of the body, dwells in the contemplation of the body, in the body. Then the same with the second one. Here he dwells contemplation in the contemplation of the feelings in the feelings. Third, he dwells contemplating on the consciousness in the consciousness. Fourth is, he dwells contemplating on dhammas in the dhammas. And then you start going to scholastic thing, Pali, something else. But it's very simple. I call it contemplation of the body in the body. That means the contemplation of the body is concerning the body. It's not concerning the feelings or consciousness or other things. That means mindfulness of the body. Similarly, contemplation of feelings in the feelings. So that means the contemplation of feelings deals with the nature of feelings. That means the main thing is the nature of the feelings, the nature of the body, the nature of consciousness, and the nature of the phenomena, the ultimate realities. It's concerning its nature, contemplation of its nature. It means a mindfulness that looks into its natural state. Not what you think it is, not what people say it is, not and so on, so on, so on, but into its nature. Attapi sampajano satima. The furthest verify attapi ardent. Attapi, that is very energetically. Sampajano, clear comprehension, and satima, mindfulness. Mindful, clearly comprehending, and energetic. It dwells in the different contemplations. So, this is what means satipatthana. And that's not all of it, that's not all of it, because Atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abhijado manasam. Having overcome covetousness and grief. It's past. Having overcome covetousness and grief. Covetousness is craving, grief is sorrow, which is anger. There is this contemplation dwelling on these four things, having overcome contemplation and grief, satipatthana. Which means that you have done the contemplation until you've overcome this covetousness and grief. That means having overcome the defilements, which means that you have attained realization. And that is the contemplation. So, strictly speaking, that's why they say satipatthana is lokuttara. It is beyond the world, supramundane. Now, what the Buddha preached in the Satipatthana is how to reach this state. And so he explained. So the second part of the analysis is what is the cultivation of a station of mindfulness? Obviously it doesn't just come like that. You must cultivate. So how do you cultivate this foundation of mindfulness? Again, this you will find also in each chapter of each part of the subjects of contemplation. starting with breath, to the postures, to the different comprehension of the major and minor postures, to the parts of the body, and so on and so on, elements and so on. It dwells contemplating on the rise of things. It dwells contemplating on the fall of things in the body. It dwells contemplating both in the rise and fall of things in the body. Ardent, composed, here use sampajana composed, should be clearly comprehending and mindful. This is one part. Then there's what internal, externally, both internally and externally, and that part. And then the whole part, right following, contemplates to the extent for the development of wisdom, and so on and so on, ardent, mindful. So that part is involved in the cultivation. Which means to cultivate that foundation of mindfulness, you have to contemplate on the rise, origination and dissolution of body, feelings, consciousness and mind objects. Not mind objects, sorry. And realities. Pali, is of course samudaya dhammanupasiva kayasmin viharati. Vaya dhammanupasiva kayasmin viharati. Samudaya vaya dhammanupasiva kayasmin viharati. So on. Samudaya dhammanupasi. Samudaya is origination. Dhammanupasi, contemplation of the original factors in the body. Contemplation on the dissolution factors in the body. Both the origination and dissolution factors in the body, it dwells. Contemplation, ardent, clearly comprehending, and mindful. So it goes with all the other consciousness as well as the realities. So here you can see clearly where the vipassana is. Origination and dissolution factors. Not just arising and passing away. That's a bit too not clear enough. Samudaya Dhamma means origination phenomena. When something originates, you have to see clearly the factors involved in its origination, and the different factors that make up the origination. Similarly, with the dissolution, the factors that bring about its dissolution, the nature of its dissolution, and the effect it has, and all that. So it is not see arise and pass away. Of course, that's one thing. It's more on the conditioning. Conditioning that brings it happening. The conditions that bring is dissolution, disappearance. Only in this type of contemplation, then you cultivate the four foundations of mindfulness, which means it's insight. This summarizes the main point of the practice with regards to any foundation of mindfulness, and it applies to it. And third, is the way leading to the cultivation of the station of mindfulness. The way. That means it is not really the Noble Eightfold Path. Right view, right thought, right action, right speech, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Now, when you practice this Noble Eightfold Path, it will lead you to the cultivation of the four foundations of mindfulness. So does it mean that the Noble Eightfold Path is not a cultivation of mindfulness, of the four foundations? It is more than that, because the Noble Eightfold Path is taught at various levels. That means in the beginning it is morality, morality, right view, right action, right speech, and right livelihood. Then the second part is concentration, right effort, mindfulness, and concentration. And finally is the wisdom, right view and right thought. So the preliminary level, whereby when you practice a tree, the main thing is sila involved, morality. Secondly is concentration is the main thing. And the third one is insight, is the main thing. So in the first part, morals and samadhi, concentration, need not cover entirely the wisdom part. So that part, if you just practice that part mainly, the actual wisdom part is not involved. Until you practice the last part where wisdom is involved, and then it covers everything. Otherwise it may cover partly or little bit and so on. You see the preliminary, the root level, mula, magga, is the wisdom part leads up to the first insight knowledge. The second part, the wisdom part, is before the attainment of the magga phala. The last part leads to the totality. So similarly, the Noble Eightfold Path, to be complete, it has to be lokuttara, supramundane. That's where the arising of the path and fruition knowledge in the thought process. So, but you get the idea that the practice moves from the very basic starting, and then it develops the concentration and insight. And this, you do that also while you are watching the four foundations, the four groups of objects as they originate, dissolve, and both, and so on. So here you get a general idea of the Satipatthana. It is developed to the state where finally it becomes like what you call the river. We call it the river of repetition, Ganga Payalo. It slides to the, like the river, it slides to the ocean, and so on. Similarly, the practice slides to Nibbana, dependent on renunciation dependent on cessation, ending up in total dispassion. That is the general flow of things as you practice in general. So this gives you a good idea of the practice of the sati, whole system of the satipatthana. Because when you actually do the practice, there are many nitty-gritty things involved. That is in terms of methodology, approach, the connection from one foundation to the other, one level within the foundation, in one foundation, and all the different approaches and methods involved. They are all interlinked, but generally they go in this direction. Now, the second sutta, to make things clearer, in the practice itself also, is the Sati Bhava Sutta. It talks of 6 things, 6 practices, which determines whether you can or you cannot realize the cool, K-C-O-O-L, cool. Cool refers to Nibbana. Because Nibbana is cool, that's all. Other than that, samsara is hot. Melaka, Panan Sampai Mati. This has everything to do with the control of the mind. So you remember these things, please. First, it's restrains or does not restrain the mind when you ought to restrain it. Restrain. You know what's restrain? Pull back. The horse rides too fast, pull back. When your horse goes the wrong way, pull back. Mindfulness is involved with control. Anatta, why control? Control and a person that controls are two different things. Control means order. Controller means the person who tries to control things as well. If somebody sleepy, I must control my sleepiness. Correct? So don't control your sleepiness because there's no controller. I mean, there's no controller in the first place. There's no person in the first place, but there has to be control. If you don't control, you just sleep the whole day. Refers to anatta, control. No controller. That doesn't mean there's no control. There has to be control. There has to be perfect control. Otherwise, the environment is not running riot. So you should control check, restrain the mind when you should restrain it. Because what you restrain, the defilements, craving, anger, delusion, is the grossest part. That's why we craving, not craving. If you are mindful, then you stop. With anger, you scold this person properly, beat him up. How do you beat up a person? Have you beaten up somebody before? Box. For example, two kids fighting, how do you do? Oh, they see their fists beat each other up. Have you fight before when you were a small boy? Bad memories, better forgotten. So generally craving, anger, delusion, either through body, like killing mosquitoes. Today mosquitoes started coming to my room. Must be because of your following. Anyway, I'm somewhat tomorrow night I will be around somewhat. Lari quat. Then by speech, anger expressed by speech, you don't boast but you scold. They say some people's tongue are sharper than a knife, poke right into your heart. Evil intention, anger. Then of course mental. Although you don't say any drink, your mind is angry. If you have metta, I hope he dies. There was one lady who was telling me, she's a Westerner. She was meditating in Japan, in a Zen monastery. A lot of people were meditating together. And then there was this monk, no, she's not feeling well. And always disturbing her, so she got very angry. So her mind was angry, but she cannot beat him up or scold him because there's people meditating. And so mentally she was angry, so she imagined she was using a knife and digging into his brain. Anger. Terrible thing. This is very clear, you should restrain it. But there's another part of restraint, you hold back. Because before the craving, anger, delusion arise, the mind is starting to become unbalanced. Especially when you are doing vipassana and you're trying to get into concentration, you have to balance your faculties. If energy is too much, then you tend to get restless now. Push. movements. Too much energy. With too much energy, you get tension. Eating not the must get, otherwise I'd rather die. So, a lot of effort. But you make effort without mindfulness, or with little mindfulness, so you end up with a lot of tension. You may still be mindful, a little bit mindful, but not enough. So, if that can be the case, sooner or later you get unbalanced. Finally, your mindfulness will drop out. Drop out. You attend university, when you cannot pass, you drop out. Drop out. So when your mindfulness drop out, there's no mindfulness. Then your craving and conditions start coming back. Like all your counts, your gang members come and look for you. So the balance was once you know they are getting too much, you must hold back. Even let's say you have too much joy. Oh, joy to the world. After that, so much joy, you can assist you. Your body starts shaking, you're going round. So finally, no more mindfulness. When no more mindfulness, the joy go down. So sad. Otherwise, craving will come first. So nice. After that, when it's over, so sad. So what happened? No more mindfulness. So before you enjoy, it starts coming back, you must restrain. When it's balanced, and the joy becomes a factor of enlightenment rather than an object of craving. Now, the second one is Bhaganhati. It means he exerts the mind when he ought to exert. Make effort when you need to make effort. Because there is a make effort in what? Very clear. Dhamma talks about 4 right efforts. Effort to arouse wholesome states. Effort to continue the development of wholesome states. And the other 2, effort to restrain the unwholesome states and overcome unwholesome states. And the second part, unwholesome, is definitely because of the first part of restraining. But in the second 2 parts, the wholesome states, it is putting in effort. Generally, to do something, you must make effort. Right? You don't make effort, nothing can be done. There's a physical effort, there's a mental effort. You have to make effort. Even to wake up also you must make effort. Otherwise it's like you have to wake up. Wake up! So you wake up. So sometimes you need extra apps. Turn on the alarm clock with the bell. And then you jump up. Effort to wake up. There's physical waking up. course, when you talk of this, going to the cool, it's not just physical. It's the mental energy. And the mental energy that comes must be wholesome, not unwholesome. We don't make effort to get up and do evil things. Do good things. So you must have mindfulness that comes with the energy, and mindfulness, and the energy that comes with the mindfulness, the energy to be mindful. The purpose and the aim and the action comes together. You must have energy. So here is a mental energy and effort. And this you have to understand and recognize well. Otherwise, you're not clear, not sure, you just push. This I call pushy people. Because you just force, meditate, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, walk, sit, walk, sit. Until the point you know mindfulness, still you walk, sit, walk, sit, what happens? You're just pushing and then you get cramp in your head, headache, you get wrong concentration. So don't simply push. When you push your mindfulness, the aim must be correct. Push, some people push, meditate. What's your aim? To calm down. Okay, you can calm down, you get samadhi, but you don't get insight. The effort must make all the things that you do, make sure all the things that you do leads to development of insight. Right effort. Effort in the Noble Eightfold Path is the right effort. All the four efforts, the main things of effort to arouse this right mindfulness. Effort. And you know very well that in meditation you need to do a lot of effort. Walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit. Of course, in the different degrees. The weak meditator, 6 hours, 3 hours walk, 3 hours sitting. And actual meditation. Other things, also you practice mindfulness, not just go and do what you like, and sleep, not like that. Moderate 12 hours. That means 6 hours walking, 6 hours sitting. Walking, sitting meditation, not Sujivo, proper walking meditation. Most people come for retreat. The retreat means to observe precepts. Okay, they don't kill, don't steal, don't what? What they do, they sit around, hang around the temple, lie down in the temple. I don't do any evil thing, but the mind is having craving, anger, delusion, lazy, sleepy, and then it doesn't spoke that way either. Mostly. So 12 hours, so moderate. And the more diligent is how many? 3, 6, 18. 9 hours walking, 9 hours sitting. This is Sarvapalita standard. How to get 9 hours? Walk, sit, 9 hours. How many hours left to sleep and do other things? No, 18, 18. So 6 there. How many hours you sleep? 4 hours. 2 hours, other things. Of course, you go to toilet very mindfully to consider in the 18. So, that is called diligent. So definitely you have to make effort. You don't make effort, you cannot get it. But balance effort. You don't make effort until you so skinny and scream, like a skeleton, walking skeleton. During my days in Burma, the most hard-working people were the Germans. You understand? Germans were hard-working people. And you're told that their motto of the country is work. Yeah. During the Second World War, Auschwitz concentration camp, the motto was Arbeit macht frei. That is, work wins you freedom. Very hardworking. And so she then walks, whether you do that properly with mindfulness or not is a different thing. That's very hardworking. So after a while you find that they all become very big size burly people. Very huge, very sometimes big tummies. They become walking skeletons. When they walk, they drag their feet. Still they do walking. They allow 4 hours to sleep. They do another extra hour before they sleep. Because they wake up after 4 hours, they do another extra hour, so they're close to 2 hours. So how? You cannot challenge them. If you do it properly and balanced manner, they get good results. Given all the parameters to be equal, I'm talking to people I work with in Europe. Germans do better because of the effort. When you talk about other conditions like wisdom potential, then there's something else. So, effort. But you have to restrain your effort also when you need to. But you incite it. Usually not enough. I'm talking of right effort. Usually not enough. How about Malaysians? Definitely they don't rank the top. Not bad, I'm thinking that Malaysians depend a lot on their faith, sadhana. So the third, fourth factor is gladden the mind that needs to be gladdened. This is especially important in vipassana, because vipassana contemplation on three characteristics and suffering. So you're bound to meet with a lot of suffering, and not just pain, but all the imperfections of nature. You want to sleep, you cannot sleep. You want to wake up, you cannot wake up. You don't want to sleep, you start sleeping. You want to wake up, you start waking up. So, anatta, So, what happens? Things often don't go your way, but you try. So when your practice becomes perfect, then it works. Buddha didn't tell you to do what is impossible. It does what is possible. He says these teachings of Satipatthana are for those with moderate faculties. They're moderate. They're not super. They're moderate. So general, everybody can practice to some extent. And if they practice diligently, they can realize. So we often need a lot of encouragement, joy. And so, how do you get your joy? First, you must have a lot of confidence in yourself. For example, one important thing is you have the right company. So that when you meditate, and want to die, you see your friend, wow, won't fall down, but very determined. It's just skin and bone. You move. Vô cầu cung và thấy đây cũng hào rồi. So if you want to make effort, encouraging people, and of course the teacher is there, and then of course a nice Buddha image, one Buddha image, not more Buddha image, inspiration. Simply you need more, you go to this temple called Temple of 10,000 Buddhas. Buddhas to the right of you, Buddhas to the left of you, Buddhas at the top, bottom, Buddhas all over you, all around and all over you. Buddhas of 10,000 Buddhas. No? Show of faith. But often these places is crowded with people with a lot of faith who don't meditate. Go to Pai Ping An. So, which is very encouraging, but important thing is the faith in the practice. So that's why there are Dhamma talks to give you encouragement and so on. The best is you have a good meditation center, with good teacher, with good companions, like Ông Teo Ling. Ông Teo Ling is so old, 80 something, he still walk and sit. No, he still all day walk and sit. Your grandmother, how old, walk and sit like him or not? Some of you are grandmothers, no? Okay, you walk and sit like him. But a lot of grandmothers, they're too old to walk and sit. Some never even meditate in one lifetime. So, people encouragement. In some places, young people, you sit and walk, they start young. When you're so young, you sit and walk or not? Meditation says sit and walk, of course you sit and walk. So meditating, no. So give encouragement. Especially in the meditation center. So joy arises. Again, joy also must control. You arouse it, but also you must control. Because too much joy, happy, and become relaxed, become attached to the joy, and then you start getting in trouble. You start losing your mindfulness. So you enjoy, you have to control. But vipassana often it's not enough, especially when you see a lot of dukkha, suffering. Sometimes when the concentration becomes strong, joy can be overwhelming, so you need to restrain. So these four actually are involved also in what we call balancing of faculties, especially energy and concentration. Only when these faculties are balanced, then the mindfulness will be stabilized. That's where the fourth thing comes in, that is, you must regard the mind with equanimity when it should be regarded as such. That means when everything is balanced and we're doing well, and then you just let go with the flow. When you go with the flow, the right mindfulness will keep developing, and the right concentration will keep developing. Otherwise, you may start disturbing the balance. Once your mind is through everything, rising, falling, everything going well. I want some more, I want some more. So you press them, I told someone, so what happens? You go overboard. You go overboard, then go down, and you start dropping off. So this has a lot to do with the balancing of faculties and controlling the mind, so that you can reach this stable, right concentration. And to be extra clear, then there are the next two factors that come in. That is the first is bent on refinement and overcoming of inferior states. That means now it gives you the further direction. When you say bent on refinement, it refers to developing of the concentration factor. Here, of course, again, we emphasize on vipassana concentration factor in vipassana. Because you still need concentration. What we're developing is excess concentration, but still a lot of work has to be done. So concentration is one way to judge, right? One way to judge that you are improving. Then after that, the most important thing comes is bent on or finds delight in nibbana, as opposed to the bundle of aggregates. You must find delight in dispassion from the five aggregates, which means inclining the mind towards nibbana. That is part is purely insight. So from there you get the clear direction of the practice. The overcoming of craving, the inclines towards renunciation, inclines towards dispassion, inclines towards cessation. And so from there, the direction is there. It's very clear. But how do you do it in the actual practice? People can only give you guidance. You yourself It's walked away. Okay, now. Any questions? No questions. Everything understood. So in case you have, as you get an answer tomorrow during the closing ceremony at 10:50. Yeah? And you take your 5 precepts and so on.